All right, let's do a walk around. I'll try to remember everything I needed to say. So she looks pretty good. Okay, fine. She looks gorgeous. Let's see. Rock chips in the front. See, little rock chips. I actually had the front bumper repainted probably about 3 years ago, and that's held up very well. There might be some, like a little imperfection here, stuff like that. I recently re-cleared the headlights. I was surprised it wasn't obvious to me, but it almost looked like it was on the inside. But when I actually sanded and cleared them, they came out really, really nicely. You know, they have the typical LED bars, kind of like, I think they start off crispy white, and then as time goes on, they all kind of like start yellowing. But funny enough, at least first of all, they match. On my S5, one of them was replaced, so it was bright white, and the other one was not, so that sucked. But here it at least it matches. It also goes really well with the color of the car. So overall, she looks good. Wheels are not curbed. Has fresh tires on it. Let me think. Let's see. Obviously the RS grille. I might even have the original grille in the garage. I might. Don't quote me, but probably, maybe. AG wheels, 19 by 9.5 plus 42, I think, or plus 45 with a little 3mm H&R spacer. So it sits nice. These, I'm not sure. Depending on how much I sell the car for, I may hang on to them in case I end up getting another Audi in the future. I know how that goes. You end up selling everything with the car, and then you get the same platform at some point in the future. Would not be the first time I do that. So, imperfections. Hold on, let me grab the blower. So of course, it's wet, so you can't see, but here is the biggest one. There's a little scratch on the bumper. That could probably be buffed out. I just haven't done it yet because there's that, which is worse. I think that might be what shows up on the Carfax. So you can tell it was like poorly done body work or something. But honestly, again, if you looked at the car from 10 feet away, your eye would not go to that. So I don't really sweat it too much. There's a ding. There's a ding up here. I'm sure PDR could probably do that. I believe there's a very faint one up here somewhere. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to capture it. AWE exhausts. It has the AWE exhausts, and also they're not really downpipes, but the resonated whatevers. So, come to think of it, that was pretty pricey. It's got the intake. It's got the exhaust intake. It has the 034 motor mounts. It has the JB something. It's a guy that was making them carrier bearing for the drive shaft, which was awesome. Actually, that was an awesome upgrade. Let's see, interior. Honestly, for 110,000 miles, I think they always say the suede doesn't hold up, but I think it's holding up just fine. It looks good to me. It's a little dirty. I wasn't anticipating making a video. It's got the PD, I forget what they were called. It's not IPD, but the trigger extensions, obviously DSG. I did the DSG service. I'll be jumping around here, but I did the DSG service at 75,000 miles before tuning. So it's got a European Performance Lab Stage 2 tune with the single pulley up top. I did not want to melt catalytics. I obviously didn't want to push anything to the limit. So it's for getting 400-ish, I would imagine, horsepower, and getting like 30 miles per gallon on the highway. When you're cruising, like if you're going on a road trip or something like that, this car is really, really amazing, honestly. My kid's car seat, obviously spacious. I'm sure you've seen the inside of a car before. I'm very torn on whether or not to sell it, but again, I got too many cars, so it's time to make a decision. What else did I replace? I replaced the actuator for the fuel door, which is a known thing. Okay, recently replaced the, I've always been good about stuff like wiper blades, hood, oh good, Poinciana tree, hood, damper, stuff like that. For the most part, I think that you're better off spending the money up front. Actually, I'm not the type of person to try to avoid spending the money on maintenance, especially since I look forward to learning how to do it. So it doesn't really scare me away from doing anything that needs to be done. So intake, I do love this car, damn it. Okay, recently done. So I did the intake valve cleaning on the with the walnut shell blastings, or walnut shell stuff. It's got a single pulley, obviously the belts. Oh, AC went out, so I did the compressor in the last couple of months. New AC compressor, new accessory belt. The injectors have all been resealed. PCV system, thermostat, water pump, spark plugs. I've always been good, especially since it's tuned. I've always been good with that. So spark plugs are done. Actually, it's funny. I was going to order the spark plugs, and I completely forgot. I had done that like 6 months before again. So spark plugs done. I'm trying to think of what else. All right, start it up. And then there's a sub in the back, but I would keep that, obviously. That one's been through like 3 of my cars, so I'm kind of attached to it. But the B&O sound system is pretty incredible, honestly. Again, the more I do review on it, the more I'm like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? All right. So, low pressure fuel pump in tank I did probably about 2 or 3 years ago. I was getting like this weird vapor lock thing, and it would actually, I'm trying to think if it would shut off on me. It would give me the EPC thing. Yeah, it would sputter EPC, and then it would I can't remember if it would just go into limp mode. I think it would just go into limp mode, but it was a low pressure fuel pump. More recently, it would take forever to crank and turn over. It would always turn over, but it would take forever. I replaced the high pressure fuel pump along with the PCV, all that stuff. When I did that, I did the high pressure fuel pump. So yeah, I've put a good amount of money into the car, I would say. And that was like sitting for 3 days. And not being started. That was like a completely cold start, because I don't like, people try to do the hot start on you. Be like, look, ship shape, no problem. Like, yeah, it's hot. Anyway, that was a cold start. I'm trying to think. So AC's cold, sound system's good. It has comfort key. It does not have sport differential, which I know if you go on the forums, it's a must-have. But listen, the S5 I had it, and this has it. And when I would take a clover leaf, I honestly don't think I could really tell the difference. I mean, maybe you can slingshot slightly faster through a turn, but for the added complication of the sport differential and the fact that they can fail and the fact that they have to be more maintained and stuff like that, I was fine with it. And realistically, I was real big on the color. I mean, volcano orange, to me, when I saw that this color existed, even with Sepang and all the other ones, or however you pronounce it, even with all the other ones, not a chance. This was the one. Got fog lights. Obviously have OBD11, which I obviously need to keep for the Passat or whatever other German fine automobile I dive into in the future. And right now, if you run codes, the only codes I've seen are overboost. But that comes with a tune because it's, you know, the red line's higher than the car thinks it should be able to go to. So that's kind of normal. And then I have one that's like, what's the word? Oh, normally you can't play music while you're recording a video, but I guess the secret to that is to start the video first. The other one is, it says something about catalyst below threshold, so I'm sure that's tied to, the exhaust and the emissions and stuff. But I mean, what are you gonna do? It's a tuned car, and it also does not show. It's just, I'm telling you from OBD. So obviously the TCU is tuned as well, and oh man, this car drives well. I don't know. I need to be 100% sure I'm good with selling it. I don't want it to be this. I know from buying and selling a lot of cars over the years, I can usually tell when it's something that I'm going to be like, damn it, Jeremy, why did you do that? Anyway. And I would also probably suggest doing, if I sell it, I would suggest maybe doing the DSG again. I don't know how often it's supposed to be done, but I do notice, and I don't know if this is tied to the EPL TCU tune, but I've felt like it does, like dropping back into first sometimes feels abrupt to me. Let this lady cross. Okay, so, and it's not always, it's just occasionally. Occasionally it feels like it's uncertain if you're gonna like roll a stop sign and leave it in second, or if it should go for it and drop it back into first. But it's not prevalent, so I haven't really worried about it, but I figured, let's see, 75, so it's 35,000 miles since the DSG service. Why not? Fresh fluid, probably be good. I'm trying to avoid school zones here. So just driving around town, I mean, it's just an excellent car. It really is. It's an excellent daily driver. And then if you put it in sport mode, it even does blip shifts. It does like, you know, blips the throttle and downshifts. So most of the time people think it's a manual, which is kind of cool. I'll try to get on it a little bit now. So in sport mode, basically, it just seems like it shifts more crisply and it holds gear longer. And that's barely giving it gas. That's good. I love when people pull out and then they just go whatever speed they feel like going. And that's a Raptor. You could go faster. All right, look at our guy. I definitely don't feel like getting pulled over, so. You see the blip shifting, downshifting. Like, it can be a sporty, engaging, fun ride, or you can just leave it in regular drive if you're in traffic, get decent gas mileage. It's probably about 30% throttle, half throttle, something like that. Suspension is H&R Super Street. No, sorry, Super Sport. H&R Super Sport springs and Bilstein shocks. did the Bilstein I want to say B8, the HD lowering ones. So it has a tow hitch receiver, which I'll obviously leave, so you can get a tow hitch type of bike, style bike rack or whatever. DSG is pretty cool. I cannot tell a lie. And I want to say that's it. I can't think of anything else. Anything else I could just tell you in conversation, but yeah. Oh, and the mirror debate. Silver mirrors. Yes, I love the silver mirrors. I don't know why the painted ones were an upgrade. To me, that's awesome. Oh yeah, obviously. Comfort key. My S5 actually did not have comfort key, which I found strange. So, key in the pocket, no need to plug it in. I mean, you can put it in the dash, but you don't have to. And that's it. That is it.